Good morning. What is up, everyone? How's everyone doing? I'm just getting I'm really interested in this pivot point. Previous day high should get touched here. Should just short it. All right, we touched it on SPY. QQQ hasn't touched it yet. All right, how's everyone doing? I'm trying to see if I want to get short and same play as yesterday on spaces. Previous day high. Yeah, it's basically take us back to that low. Like right here, 325. I'm gonna try to see if we can get down here. Just trying to get this right here. All right, I'm getting a short to see if we can go hit 325.
Yeah, previous day high. All right.
All right, a little ad here. What I'm looking at is we should touch previous day's high. We did the exact same trade as yesterday. Yeah, the gap fill in previous day high. That's what I'm shooting for. All right, guys, we'll dive into it real fast here. I'm just trying to get down here. And let me find that stat for you guys as watch it play out over here. Outside days right here. It already tells me bearish bias, 70%. 70%, yeah. 70% that we're going to come touch down here. Gap fills both right here. Come on. Hope everyone's doing well this morning. Sorry, I am locked in. This is I got the thing live. I was like literally at that open push. I was like, okay, wait, we have that bullish outside day. One of the first things I look for. We open up above previous day's high. We'll take a look at it here in just a second. Is all we want is this down here. Oh, AM Dizzle. Come on down. Come on. Come on down. Come on. Give me 325. Some more. That was a real wick. Feature did not come down there. What is this wick? That's not real. Why is gap filled and hit previous day high? Just waiting on QQQ to do the same. What is this? QQQ. What? Bro, Cliff, that Tuesday was such a. We'll take a look at that here in a second after this trade plays out. That Tuesday was wild. What date is coming out right now? Amazon's ripping. Oh, they're gonna get me. I'm gonna have to try it again. Oh, that was a dirty wick right here that QQQ did and then Q didn't. Oh, that's gonna stop me out. That wick is just dirty. What? Look how different that is. NQ didn't even go that pre-market low. They just have to take this off and reset. But as soon as I do that, we'll reject probably. But if we don't, you know how it works. That was a dirty wick, though. Dadgummit. Yep, this is gonna get me. Oh, there's my stop. Oh, look, this. QQQ did it and Q didn't. What do you want me to do? New all-time high on ES. Well, that gummit. Now what do we do? It wanted previous day high. It did one of those like phantom wick type of things. What a morning. Give me a break. Look at this. Futures up 10 points short of it. On to the next trade. That's right, Cliff. That's what I'm looking for. I want to try it again. I mean, technically the same trade's still valid. Gap is still there, and the previous day high is still there. But after that, it's bullish because you break previous day high. I mean, buy, we look for this to stay above today. QQQ could close the day above this. That's based on previous day high being broken. Everything looks frothy. Google's coming down a little bit, filling the gap. Amazon's screaming to the upside. Broadcom coming down. Nvidia kind of coming down. Microsoft's still strong. Excuse me. Netflix still coming down. Rejected right at that 400. Now what do you do? Yeah, Kevin, I did. I was short here. I didn't even lock in any profit. I was short like 60s. 10 points from my take profit, basically. Not even 10, like 8 points. I was sitting right here on take profit. I don't want to take it again, but I know, right, Kevin? Like, here's the thing: the trade setup. Previous day high, QQQ made the wick down, and NQ didn't. It just is what it is sometimes. Is what it is. Buy new all-time high. Yeah, Kevin, I could take that trade 4 more times, and if it doesn't work out 4 more times, I'll still be okay. Obviously, that's not ideal. We don't want that to happen. The trade still should just play out, but since I just took a loss, I don't want to take a second risk on the same trade right now. Yeah, look, it's gonna play out now. Right back to my original entry. Of course, it's gonna play out now that it stopped me out. I mean, So I get right back in the same trade right here. I could have added right here again, and I'm still looking for this. EMAs are still technically bearish or under VWAP. Yeah, so I mean, this is still in play that we touch this because this would fill the gap on QQQ and the previous day high. So it's hard to see here, but we did not quite touch this right here, previous day high. 563.85. We came down to 87. So I mean, that's like really semantics, though. I mean, basically, it happened. You know what I mean? Like basically, it happened. So that's stuff. But the gap didn't fill. If you actually look, SPY did. QQQ didn't quite come down here and fill the gap. NDX definitely didn't fill the gap yet, which is what this is all based off of, right? NASDAQ. SPY looks so good, though. What are you, I mean, you're fighting. Another day where SPY looks good, and yeah, KB, SPY, that looks so much better. So, like, I really want to take the same trade, but the data's still there and everything. But what I don't like is what's happening over here on ES. ES and SPY looks so much stronger, and they've already played out. But I still think we come down here. So, if anything, I can wait until this plays out and then look for the bounce play. Amazon new high. Amazon is screaming. Microsoft is still strong. Nvidia's not. Google came all the way back down. And Microsoft, broadcast. Semis are coming down. Apple just came down. We have a Mag 7 even going the different directions right now. There's a home cells. Yeah, VIX down to 15. I just want this to go ahead and play out, and then we can look at it long. KB, how you been, man? Hadn't seen you on the stream here in a little while. Yeah, Kevin, reject that. Are you guys doing anything? Kind of waiting for this to. I'm watching for this to play out. So like if we come down here and we get like wick down here, but end up closing back up, like I think that's really long. There goes my short playing out without me. Nvidia's really weak. Those Broadcom, the chips are weak again today, which is weird. Now Amazon doesn't care. Almost there. I hear you, Cliff. Okay, I've been not only like sized, like overall just sized down a little bit, but just I've been taking less trades. All-time highs, I've learned my lesson the hard way many times. All-time highs is just not my forte. Come on, QQQ, just play it out, and then maybe we can long something. What Nvidia looks like trash. I wish I had room to put up more screens for you guys. Amazon's finally getting a down candle. Google's coming back down. Those AMD, Walmart. You know my favorite company in the whole world, Walmart's ripping. Like, this should get tagged. Look at this versus this right now. It's disgusting. Oh no, Kramer. I saw him when I was at the New York Stock Exchange. What was it, a week? Almost 2 weeks ago, I guess. That Friday morning, we went in there. We were on the floor for the opening bell, and where we were standing is right next to. It's like CNBC has a little like studio in there, and Kramer was sitting there like right in the middle with a panel, two or three other people. I just with this going on, it's tough to short this. Obviously, has several. Yeah, I saw Kramer was sitting right there. Did you get short on this, KB? I really want to, but it's this is what's bothering me over here. This ES is so much stronger. And bottom wicks. I really want to try it right here with you, KB. I feel like I'm fighting against too much with this going on. I mean, really, you've got multiple times it's been bought up down here. That makes me nervous. So, like this area, and then ES just powerhouse right now. Kind of looking around. Nvidia got a pretty big reaction candle down there. Amazon's still trying to come back down just to like the 5-minute EMAs. Google's still like some profit taking. CrowdStrike looks decently strong. Meta's on VWAP and the EMAs. Broadcom just made a new low, but it's trying to bounce. Microsoft's in a flag. Apple is back testing VWAP from the underside. Costco's coming down. Netflix bouncing. Tesla turned over. Tesla's getting destroyed. There you go, KB. I'm still confident because of the data that this is going to play out. I'm not going to long and fight the data, but I'm also not going to I'm not going to short it personally just because I want it to play out. Yeah, QQQ hit VWAP and all that. That was a it's worth a shot. That was the same spot originally. There you go. And there is the original trade data that I was trying to playing out without me. Previous day high and gap fill QQQ is hitting right now. Beautiful trade, KB. That was the exact trade. Well, I could have trusted myself. Yeah, so here's the thing. I didn't want to take a second loss. No big deal. I've got myself into more trouble taking the same trade 3 times after blowing it once or twice instead of just waiting for the next trade. So I just played it a little safe here. No, no problem. Look, I would not be surprised to see this spot up. Look, because ES probably you can long off of this. We have the first. We don't have the first hour of data yet, but that'll work. I mean, yeah, I appreciate it, Cliff. Like, doesn't mean anything. Obviously, if I don't make any money off of it, but it's it just shows you like sometimes like things just don't work out. That this like Phantom Wick, I probably could have taken some profit, but I was like, okay, I just want full TP. I didn't trim because I was short. And then now look, now this does happen on NQ. Look, the gap's filled right there. And it didn't happen earlier. Part of the game, guys. KB nailed it though. But see the data on this, 70% of the time you come back down. There it is. Here's your gap fill right here. All right, now I'm gonna start looking for the longs now that played out. Off of 300, I like it. I'm gonna try it off at 300. All right, I'm gonna try the long bounce here. I'm back into that 25. All right, there's 20 points. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off half. Manage accordingly on this. Green trade no matter what. Chip back away. If this does work out, goes higher, then I'll be back green on the day. If not, I'll just chip away at the red. Something I've been working on. Not trying to get back a red trade all at once, especially in this is the counter trend trade here. It's kind of look rough, honestly. Did it just keep me in the street? Oh, please give me a tweezer bottom right here. Come on, there we go. Come on, put in a little tweezer bottom. There we go, there we go. All right, 30-point gain. I'm out 2/3 here. There we go. Ten minutes or so. We still only have the first hour of data, and I'm back green now, which is good. Yeah, my stops up here, by the way, like 310. There we go. All right. Well, hey, we're back. Oh, Chad, did you catch that? Let's go, Chad. Okay, yeah, that same thought went through my head, and I hate when I think that thought because then like it's not gonna happen. But like yesterday, literally, I was like trying to get it to break that low, but I looked over, and once it started going, I was like, dang it! It built a double bottom W. I was like, gosh, if that's low of day, it's gonna be a brutal day, and it was. Like yesterday, I sat here. We got an NQ. It's not as clear on the 15-minute. On the 5-minute, it did this. It double bottom. Dude, I sat here and watched this thing just forever. and then I actually got long here on this candle. We're only got a 5 minute yesterday. I longed right here, and I only took it to here. This is tough because I kind of want to just lock in, but everything's bullish. So like, if we go back to like what we're actually doing, or like what we're actually looking at here, we don't have the first hour of data yet, but the first hour of data could be, we could have a mixed day, right? This is where we opened the day, the first hour, and we're below that. So the first hour is actually red right now. But previous day high is broken, which means we should have a green day. No, man, I haven't. No. So that's what I was kind of pulling up. Sorry to answer your question over here real fast. Um, so if we look at some statistics here, previous days were 83% chance of a green day. 83% chance. So from yesterday's close to today's close, here, like this right here is where we closed yesterday. There's an 83% probability that we close above that. That keeps me bullish today. We just filled the gap too, which is also like that's out of the way. A lot of times once you fill that gap, then you get the bounce. I mean, we don't have to do this, but can do that. Now, IB, we do have high first, low form second. We do have a bearish first hour so far, 5 minutes left. So that's going to be like, so we also have a 72% chance that we close below where we opened. So honestly, we have a box right here where we should close somewhere in this box. So basically, statistically, under 565 and above 563.80. That's what statistically should happen. We also, based on the first hour that's about to form, we have the high first, the low second. We could easily sweep this low one more time. So I am being careful about that. Oh, I could see that little foot. I could see it sweep the low one more time, and I think then you probably buy it. And I mean, if this is the low, this could be the low. I mean, when I look at the progression here, so we had this move down, right? And then we got up and we started holding this fib here. We had some interest around this one, but then you see the upper was this part. Then we rejected the 613, came back down to that, took off. Tried to hold this one, but now we came back down to what was the golden retrace and held that. So we probably should come back up here, see if this is resistance. We get over this, then you probably do something like this. That's just my thought. I'm getting the stats sent out that I showed all of you guys. Like, isn't this crazy? You look at this, and then you look at that. Yesterday was even crazier. So like look at this. This is just like the example graphic, right? You see how like yesterday's high and it does that. Look what SPY did yesterday. This is this green line is it. Look at this. Literally, I mean, look at that. This is not the dude, that is insane. Absolutely insane. Same thing here. Look at this. ES technically has we're gonna break the high. I'm glad I just looked at that. So the first hour, we just got the first hour of data. QQQs isn't great. It says we should break the low, but SPY, here's the low, here's the high second. So we should pick out this high. All right. Look, it didn't take me long at all, honestly. So like I I use the same like 3 or 4 reports daily, And so, like, as I just kind of, and then, as you're doing that, you just kind of like add one or two in here and there. Well, so there is a lot of reports, right? But like, I just know which ones that work for me. And so, like, every once in a while, I'll check out a new one and just kind of see if I like it or not. But like, find a couple you like. And I mean, if you're a day trader, I find the ones that have the highest probabilities, and then I try to capitalize on those. So like the IB, that's why I started using these IB reports so much because I just noticed like how strong these are. So like, gap fill, and you can just bookmark them over here. But gap fill, and I've done a lot of videos on my YouTube, my personal channel about these. But gap fill, the IB, first hour of the day. Those are like three bread and butter ones that are strong, very strong. Outside days, which is what I was showing you today, when you open like UQQ, you can see from the open earlier. Like this is where price opened the day, and the previous day high was here. So like that's just in my head. That's a trigger that we're gonna do that. Once we do that, there we go. No, Cliff, I love all the questions. Sorry, I had to answer something else there. Okay, so look, if I go to what's in play, see over here on the left side, I can highlight which ones I like. So, like for example, I have gap fill because I want to know that that's going on. I love all the questions. Sorry, like I've got a lot of stuff going on here. There's people asking me about this trade and all this stuff. Look at this beautiful long. All right, 50 points here. I'm taking one more trim off. Look at this long. That's why we're patient, right? Because think if I would have taken 2 losses in a row and then been like, further upside down. But here we go. All right, Cliff, hitting up your question a little bit better here. So here's like on the what's in play. I go over here and I look. I can easily from my watch list stock. I can easily go from QQQ to Spire and Curious rapidly there. But like these stay with whatever you leave them on. So like for me, I have gap fill on, I have IB, and I have IB by rejection. I also have opening candle continuation, previous day's range. So these are like my bread and butter reports. So both of these are IB, but this IB by rejection is the one I always talk about on here, the high or the low. Yeah. Sorry, I was reading comments down here. Bazo Sprout, I'll get to yours in just a second. So initial balance, this is just a sub report of that. There's actually another one by retracement, but see, I just click and it just like slots it in here. But this is how, and like, look, you can also go to the detailed here and say, okay, what's the chances of the gap fill? Okay, initial balance, this is telling me my stats. 71% of the time, you're going to break it one side. 21% of the time, you're going to break two sides. Two sides, and no break is currently, this is set to Thursdays, and you can customize it. You can go to the report and look by rejection. So quickly, it's saying there's a 62% chance we break the low, but there's a 31% chance that we go break the high. Do I want to fight against that? Not really. That's IB by rejection of whether we're going to break out or break down. The statistics say we should break down, but we do have a few other statistics telling us to stay bullish. And where that I drew that box a little bit earlier because it could be a little bit mixed. All right. Opening candle continuation. Look at this, guys. Now it was bearish today. Wow. 92%. 92. But 92% chance that we have a red day today on QQQ is actually kind of insane. This is based on the day. This is going to just Thursdays where you have a red opening hour. But I mean, like any statistic, it can be a strong statistic and still go the other way. So there's like an aggregate thing. I did a stream on my personal yesterday with Andre, and Andre was showing me there were an idea that me and him discussed several times over the last like 6 months, an aggregate score. So like basically looking at this what's in play on the simple view, and then up here at the top, like a score of like, okay, how many bearish, how many bullish, how many neutral. So I like that one. Let me hit up Basil Sprout. What was the trade. So look at QQQ here. So we opened up here. We needed to come take previous day high and fill the gap. So in my mind, after that happens, so it's bearish until that happens. After that happens, you look for the bounce. Everything else is bullish. Since we've taken out previous day high, we have a strong probability that we're going to close the day above here. So I'm thinking, okay, anything under this, I want to long under this because we should close statistically over this. Now we should have come back and back test it, which we did. We also had a gap fill, which we filled. Now we should close back over that because previous day's range, we take out the high previous day's range, you look to close green on the day, which happens to be right here because we closed yesterday right there. So that's part of the reason for the long. And then the confluence, I had this level that we stopped at for a long time yesterday that was resistance. Does it turn into support? Looks like it did. That was it was worth a shot. It was also my 618 retrace. So that's kind of where the thought process came from on all that. Also, I mean, as confluence, you can say, look, we made new lows on QQQ, but ES still higher low. I mean, look, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher lows. So that's another piece of it too. Yeah, so here's the thing, as a sprout, the IB, this part was bearish on QQQ, but on SPY, it was low first, high second. So this should break the high here. So you have two things going in different directions. So I start aggregating things in my head. I say, okay, wait, I've got one telling me up, one telling me down. I have previous day's range telling me across the board up. Like there's several ways to look at this, right? And then if I go to the screener, I can also look, what are the big names doing? So opening candle continuation, pretty mixed here. You have some bullish, some bearish. Noticed even QQQ and SPY are mixed. IB, we haven't had any breaks yet, standard one. Previous day's range, both indices are bullish, Google's bullish, and then what? Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and then some bearish. So this is like a mixed picture on QQQ. Now this is mostly NASDAQ stocks here, right? IB by rejection, mostly bearish across this. So like, that's telling me right now in this trade, I'm probably not really looking for this. I'm probably looking to take off pretty much everything here. If a runner wants to go here, a runner goes here, I'm fine. Honestly, I wouldn't want this to come back below 234. So there's that. Yeah, it comes with time. It comes with time. So like, I try to look and see, like if everything lines up, like that's high confidence, right? Everything, I have 3-4 things telling me this way. That's high confidence. I just need to get in somewhere and ride that train, right? I'm probably a little bit more risk averse when I see things like today where, okay, multiple things telling me long, but the opening hour of the market and the IB telling me bearish actually, which goes against everything else. So QQQ looks to me really choppy based on that. ES looks good. So that's kind of what I'm sitting with right now. All right. Oh, TV, missed this. Good job, brother. 3 for 3, done for the day. Start trailing up my stop a little bit further. I think we could get stuffed here again. What a... Would you ever look at this on a daily and just go, what a freaking move? Unbelievable, dude. Now we kind of just chill, really. Yeah, so you're trading right now. SPY should take this high. If it breaks and bases, then you look for this extension. You can also look for this right here. So, like, if this breaks, you can look for this back test. This happens. Your VWAP pretty much full target. There's your breakout on yes. There's if you got long yes, that's your IV break to the upside. Oh, they're right there. Yes, buy either one. All right, I'm getting really close to just closing this out. I want to trail up my stop probably up here. I'm just gonna close here. Oh, I forgot to say how many points it was. 60, 59, 60 points total. All right, I'm flat. Oh, let's see what happens. That doesn't mean this can't keep going. I just wanted to lock in. I mean, that turned out to be a pretty big trade. And like I said, I did draw this a little bit earlier. There's several statistics that say long, but what I see is I see an IB that's technically bearish. I see a first hour that says we should close under here. And I see the other statistics say we should close here. Remember, this is this is where we should close today. So the upper end of it, I want to lock in profit. So like that's one thing that Edgeful really helped me with, guys, was when I when I would trade before, I would be like, oh, I just let me, I take off half or whatever, and I would like move a stop up here somewhere, and I'd be like, well, I just want this to happen, and I would watch trades go up here and then come back down, and I'd end up getting out back here instead of locking in profit along the way. And so what I started paying attention to was like, okay, once the move happens, statistically, I should be taking off a portion of my position because statistically, for it to continue, is getting lower and lower and lower. So instead of like locking in the majority of the profit here, because like I like locking in, let's see, trimmed here, and here, let me get into to make this easier. I trimmed what? I trimmed right up here in the 325 area, and then I trimmed again at like this or below, like another small trim here, and then I took the rest off here. The reason I do that is because if this reverses back down here and stops me out, like look at all these spots that I took profit higher. Now, if it keeps going, yeah, it keeps going, but what tends to happen, it'll go up here and then it'll come back down here. And like I said, I have statistics that say we close in a box right here. Now, if I was long yes, honestly, I'd probably be taking some profit here and almost probably be a little bit more excited because ES, first hour, we opened here. We closed the first hour bullish. We held above everything we needed to hold. We're above previous day's high. That's been broken. IB is broken to the upside. So ES coming back down here is very low probability. If anything, I'd be locking this profit here and looking for up here. But we probably close in this range on ES today. So that's what it is. KB, have a great day at work, my man. Oh, man. Good morning. Would have been a great morning if that first trade hadn't stopped me out. But I couldn't sit there and draw down that far. Yep, there it goes too. Look, that's fine. Oh, I made my trade, made my money. So like that's another thing. Look at this. Break and base right there. Then you look for the extensions, which I have on the other chart set up. This, if that holds there, you definitely look at this. The thing I don't like is look how many candles you've got in a row here. There's another report on this too. One, you have kind of a rising wedge scenario here. The other thing I see is like Only 3 15-minute candles hit a green, but on the 5-minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you get 6, 7, 8. Ooh, let's take a look at that. What's the hourly? Look at that hourly. Well, that is a big hammer. Ooh, in Q, look at that one. Well, that is a big old hammer. That's what she said. All right, I still got half an hour left on the stream on flat. I almost want to buy the next. Look, this thing is just squeezing. Oh, spy squeezy. All right, so yeah, Azo. So we have. All right, let me go to QQQ and just show you this. So QQQ, couple reports here that I'm looking at, kind of aggregating those things together. Let me get to load here. There we go. All right, so QQ, first hour of the market, opening candle continuation, first hour of the market. This is based on where the market opens. Why is everything going slow now? There we go. Opening hour or opening candle continuation. First hour of the day, 72% that we have a red day on QQQ. So what I'm saying is, let me go back to market opened right here. There's 72% chance we close under this level based on opening candle continuation. Okay, 72% of the time you close under this level. Now, the other side, if we look at previous day's range right there, previous day's range, previous day high broken, you close 83% of the time as a green day. That's based on the previous day's close. So that's based on where we closed yesterday right here, which is also happens to be the high. So there we go. Previous day's high right here. And then you see the yellow line. This is on the gap fill indicator. I have two of them on here. Either way. The gap fill indicator, that's marking where we closed yesterday. So 83% chance we close over this area because the previous day's range report, I have it set to previous close to close. So this is saying based on yesterday's close to today's close, 83% of the time we're going to close green. So that means yesterday's close, we close above it today 83% of the time when we've broken previous day high, which we have, right? We opened up above it. So we've broken that. So there's an 83% chance we close above here and a 72% chance we close below here. That's why I see this possibly getting boxed in. My YouTube channel, it's just my Imp Maximiliano. So if you search Emperador Maximiliano, let me see if I can just find it real fast. Here you go, right here. EMP Maximiliano. And just go to live because almost all my videos are into live. I have some videos that are uploaded here with some strategy stuff, but live is where I've done a lot of the stuff. But there you go. There's a lot of so EMP Maximiliano. Same as my X. If you follow me on X, it's the same thing. Yeah, but so like these are, I mean, if you look at the same reports on ES or SPY, you're gonna see just bullish thing, like just bullish out the wazoo, right? Everything about this is bullish. Now, I was gonna look at price action. This is a pretty big move straight up so far. We get a little reaction, a little upper wick here, probably pull back down. There's another report, IB by rejection. This one's actually pretty interesting, by the way. I'm sorry, IB by retracement. Let me go to this one. IB by retracement. I just know how to get here. You can bookmark all these, by the way, over here, just to get to them quicker. Right. Breakout by retracement, for example. So this is on, I'm looking at SPY because SPY broke out. Let's just go to SPY's data. So breakout by retracement. When you break out, you retrace back 55% of the time. So a little bit more than half the time. You come back to, so this is the high of the first hour, this is the low of the first hour, and then you see these gray lines in between. This is all in the indicator that's included in Edgeful, by the way. It just makes my life easier. But there's 55% chance you come back and touch this. Now, just for the example here, look at if you break down by retracement, look at this, 67, so 2/3 of the time. If you break down, so let's say, ignore this price action, but let's say here's your first hour low, here's your first hour high. If you broke this, you come back to this level 67% of the time, 2/3 of the time. So like if you broke down here, you almost always want to long for this. And then, hey, you can also flip and use that as the other thing. Okay, well, we're going to come back to this, but the price action's down. You could wait for that to short as well. So there's a couple ways, like I was talking to Andre about this yesterday. Like it's funny, like me, Littlefoot, KB, Cliff, Bazo, all of us could look at, 2 or 3 reports and actually incorporate them into our strategy a little bit differently. Dude, DAX, like I feel like I've got to get on this. Right, sorry, I got unmuted. So DAX, I need to get on this DAX hype train. One of my boys, James Bruce, I don't know if you guys know him. He's trained a lot with Edgeful as well. He's a great futures trader. He's over in South Africa. He trades that DAX and just absolutely crushes it. And I need to get on that train at some. just realized I was unmuted in Discord for like half of that. So Littlefoot, that's a tough one. So when I look at this, I think of QQ. I think QQQ. Oh no, they're gonna do this music thing to me again. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Littlefoot. So would I buy any dip on NQ to look for a high day? I would not personally. Um. So I mean, are we gonna break one side or the other? The IB? Yes. Does it look like we're probably gonna break the upside? Yes. I could. You could make that argument, but I have bullish statistics above here, and I have a bearish one here. So if anything, I would want to short up here, down or long down here. So like I like this is like I could play it back to the middle type of day. But with SPY as strong as it is, maybe NQ does some catch up. That's another thing to think about. SPY is so strong that just push us. So that's what's tough. Like if anything, you almost want to buy the dips on SPY, but it would need to like cool off. So like you look at this, the 5 minute here, so like this is going on. You would almost need it to like about 15 minutes, build a little flag, and then do that. So this is a good point right here from Bazo. So that IB retracement, for example, what I love that report. I use it quite often. You can use the orb if you're an orb person, 15-30 minute orb. There's similar stats on that same thing. What I will say is the point, you can use it on the DAX, you can use it on gold, you can use it on anything. If you trade Tesla, if you trade Nvidia, if you trade Walmart, it doesn't matter. The reports all work for anything. If you're like, day trading something else, you think there's arrows or something behind it, you can actually use the data on that ticker, and it would be very different. So, like, there was one we were looking at yesterday where usually from wherever we open, we typically close within 1% of the open. Just like in general, we close like from wherever we open the day, we usually close within like 1% of it. On names like Tesla, that's like it was like opposite. Like you usually close like more times than not, you close outside of that. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see this build out a flag here. I wouldn't be surprised to see this like come hit down here somewhere. But so at the beginning, that was the biggest thing. I was like, okay, we bearish down at the beginning of the stream, which this little guy messed me up. But here, let's go to 5 minute to make this. Actually, let's go to like a 3 minute. So from up here, we could be bearish down to this level. Once this level hit, then we look for confluence to go back the other way. And look how this is played out. Whoa. That's beautiful.
All right, guys.
It looks so good, but it's so hard to get in somewhere. You can't long up here because it needs a pullback. What is that? BM and R. Boy, Tesla's getting smoked. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's not a whole lot to do now. Intel reports this afternoon, but we got the two big ones out of the way, and then next thing you have is next week. Next week's crazy. Microsoft, Meta, there's the Robinhood's super popular, Qualcomm, ARM. This is a huge day next Wednesday, and then Thursday, Amazon, Apple, Coin, MSTR, Cloudflare's in here. Big, big earnings week next week. But remember, I said above here is lower probability. Above here is above here and below here is the spot. Right now we're above here, so if we come back down, this is the midpoint of the day so far. You'd probably come back down to there. Now SPY, you could probably look to long in here somewhere, but it's tough because you just went up so far. I would rather see, 5-15 minute kind of build a flag, like 2-3 candles, cool off a little bit. IWM's getting hit a little bit here. Some of these moves have been crazy. Yeah, FOMC is next week. Elon's been all over the place. By Netflix. Wow, look at Microsoft. Yesterday came off the 20-day for the first time. Kind of with you. I think Littlefoot. I think you have to be. And then the overall picture, right? It's super bullish. I mean, my problem is SPY. You're starting to get a little vertical again on SPY. It's tough for me to like. I mean, intraday you can do whatever, but like when you get, see how extended you are from like the moving averages here. So like the other day when we got extended away, and it like kind of comes over sideways, they catch up a little bit. Got extended away here, went sideways, they caught up. I mean, if you look back, came off of these, gapped up, went sideways, they caught back up. The video looks like a flag off of VMAs. Well, not a whole lot of action right now, which I think is important. ES cooling off a little bit, and Q still strong. Need some catch up. The Google filled the gap, basically. Not all the way, but came back down. Boy, Costco's been getting punished. Amazon strong. Apple, I like some of these charts I still like, but they have earnings coming up. Oh, few more minutes left on the stream. Pretty successful day, I guess. Well, here's my box. I don't really want to fade this because it's a bullish move, but if we come back down here, probably want to buy it. Buy, do we hold IB high here? Yeah, that's a perfect back test. Orb high and IB high. Right there. Anything I'd probably buy down here. Yeah. We'll be watching that. All right, guys. Drop a if you're on YouTube, there's a link. If you haven't tried out Edgeful, jump in and try it out. All right, guys. Mixed data here. I haven't had a whole lot of breakouts yet, but a couple. Microsoft did it. These days range kind of mixed overall. IB by rejection. We're going against this right now, so my thought process is be patient. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. I'm back Tuesday and Thursday is my streaming days right now, and obviously check out everything else. Check out Edgeful. Obviously, the Wolf Financial. If you're not following Wolf Financial on X, we do these spaces. We do the live trading every single day. What else? Discord. Of course, I'm in a Discord of my own. I'm also in the Edgeful Discord. If you're looking to chat, maybe learn some more about Edgeful, see what other people are doing, how they're using reports. It's free. Jump in that one as well. And boom. Appreciate everyone. Have a great rest of your day. All right, Cliff. Appreciate you. Shout out to everyone. Littlefoot, uh, Basil Sprout. Who was it? Malvic came through here. TB was here earlier. I had to go back to work. Um, Chad was in here a little bit earlier. Who else was in here today? Appreciate all you guys stopping by. Kevin.